guys, welcome to Live with Danielle every Tuesday, 4 o'clock Pacific. So I posted Asher's very first lunch from today, first day of school, or actually yesterday was the first day of school, but first day of lunch at school for us. And so I thought I would make the theme today school lunches, because I know so many of you guys have questions about it. So before we get started, please say hi and where you're from. You can see I have a ton of food sitting in front of me here. I just went to Costco, and so while we hang out for this time, I'm actually just going to prep a bunch of stuff. So unfortunately, I don't have my amazing trusty assistant Sydney here today, and so I'm going to try to see comments, but the font on that screen is so tiny because I have to have the phone far enough away so you guys can actually see what I'm doing. So I'll try to answer as many questions as I can from back here. But in the meantime, I'm going to lean forward and try to read with, it's so small. So I see Jackie, hi. I see Kale, Jessica, Amy, Jill, thanks for coming. Erica, great, thanks for coming. Good to have you here. Dana, Renee. So show of hands if you guys join me every week, maybe by hitting like the like button or heart or something. And if you don't, make sure that you guys come back here every Tuesday. I am here. Rain or shine, except for last week we were on vacation, so I appreciate you guys giving me a week off. We went to Tennessee to see a lot of dear friends, so we squeezed in one last trip before Ryan started a new job on Monday, and oh, look at all those hearts. That means you guys are here every week. I love that. And Asher started school, so it's kind of a big week for us. It's been a little bit crazy. We have been incredibly blessed and fortunate that Ryan has been home for the last 2 years, working side by side with me. And on a couple of his own ventures, and it was so amazing for our healing after Ayla passed, and then just with everything else that's been going on in life, Easton's birth, and he just went back to work yesterday, so we're like in a period of transition and celebration and kind of mourning too, because we're going to miss Daddy being home a lot. So we're very, very blessed that he got this job, and we're excited, but it's going to be a big change. We're going to miss him, and he's not here to film my YouTube videos, so I'm going to have to figure something else out. We were kind of a husband and wife team, and it's been super fun, but time for change, and that's okay. All right, I'm gonna get a little closer just to say hi to a couple of you guys. Oh yay, Heather, I'm glad you found it from Seattle. Yes, so you guys, if you have any problems getting here, all you have to do is just go to my Facebook page and it will show up. Sometimes Facebook doesn't show you stuff on your wall, so make sure that you come to the Against All Grain page and you can find it. And so let's see, Rhonda, nutritional facts, I can tell you they are all in the back of Meals Made Simple for that book. And then Against All Grain, we're working on getting those together. They take a lot of time, and we have to go through a nutritionist to actually get them calculated. But you can find them all on MyFitnessPal. And then Celebrations, we will have them on the website. So when that book comes out, you will be able to find those as well. All right, so I'm going to get started on a couple things, and then I'll try to answer your guys' questions as I go. What else was I going to say really quickly? Oh, my tour. So if you guys missed it, I announced most of my Celebrations Cookbook tour. So make sure that you take a look on my Facebook page, my Instagram, it's there, and that you block that day off in your calendar if I'm coming near you. And if I'm not coming near you, either find a friend that can get you a copy and have it signed, or you can pre-order from Barnes & Noble, and that one will be signed. It won't be personalized to your name, but it will be signed. So you can pre-order from Barnes & Noble and get that now. And make sure that if you guys pre-order from anywhere, Amazon, Target, Barnes & Noble, that you save your receipt, because we have some really fun giveaways coming up and some free stuff when you pre-order. So we'll have an email address for you guys to send those into at some point, and you will get some fun free stuff, and then also entered in to win some really great prizes. So, all right, I'm going to get started. I'm making a whole bunch of stuff for Asher's lunch. So I'm going to start first with making some fruit leather. And today I'm actually going to hide some vegetables in it, mostly just because we have an abundance from our garden, and I just figured I'd try. So I've got 4 cups of frozen organic berries, got them at Costco. They have a little bit of freezer burn on them because they've been in my freezer just a bit too long, but that's okay. And then I have organic baby spinach that I found at Costco, and I'm going to just throw a little handful in there. I'm also going to throw in a little bit of cucumber and a little bit of zucchini, because why not? So for, let's see, why can't I open this? Oh, the pull button. Typically when I get lettuce, I've had this asked, this is pre-washed. I usually do wash it. and then just run it through a salad spinner and put it in some bags with paper towels. I'm just gonna run this one under some water really quickly, just for the sake of time and for you guys not having to sit and watch me do all of that. So I've got about a cup of spinach, 4 cups of berries. I'm gonna put just a squeeze of lemon, and I'm gonna just start that on the stovetop. Probably like, I'm gonna do 2 tablespoons of honey just to make it a little sweeter, since I am throwing in some vegetables, and then about a teaspoon of lemon juice. So I'm, if you have my first cookbook, Against All Grain, I'm roughly going off of the recipe that's in the kids section. Right here, it's on page 204, and I'm just gonna add a few things to it and hope that it turns out, and that Asher can't detect the vegetables. Sorry, hold on just a second. I just need to grab a cutting board and a knife. This whole live business by yourself is a little bit difficult. And also, if you guys saw my announcement, make sure that you stick around till the end, because I am gonna pick one person to win something. So make sure you stick around. Okay, so I'm just gonna do half of a zucchini. I'm just gonna kind of move this massive bag of carrots so you guys can actually see what I'm doing. I'm just gonna cut this into some chunks that kind of are like berry sized so that they cook down. So this is about half a cup of cucumber, and then about a half a cup of, that was zucchini. And then this is cucumber. If you guys are growing cucumber in your gardens like we are, and they are just going crazy, I just made some strawberry cucumber popsicles that were really, really good. And Asher loves them, so I'm going to work on getting that recipe up for you guys. I also made a batch with tequila in them, and put those in the freezer for the adults. So those should be kind of fun. All right, so I'm going to turn my stove on. Sorry, trying to think about what I'm doing here. I prep for his lunches a lot, but not usually while I'm trying to talk to people live. So, okay, so that's just gonna simmer just until the juices from the fruit kind of come out and it gets a little bit more liquidy. I'm also gonna put my hair back so my son doesn't find my hair in all of his food. Lovely autoimmune flare-ups / postpartum. My hair is falling out like crazy. Everywhere. I think I've lost like 3/4 of it, which is a bummer, but that's okay. We roll with the punches. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do, I bought all of these beautiful organic berries at Costco, and I'm going to soak them in a little bit of vinegar and water. That will help just kill any like bacteria spores, and so they'll last a little bit longer in the fridge, and then I put them in a container lined with paper towels and leave it kind of just gently propped open. I'm sorry that I have to keep going off camera for you guys, but I'm going to fill this up with water, and we'll let that soak for a little bit while we keep talking. Okay, I'm using apple cider vinegar. You can use white vinegar if you want. Apple cider definitely has a kind of a strong taste, so you want to make sure you rinse it off really well, but white distilled vinegar sometimes can be from corn, so we don't typically use it except for to get stains out of carpet in this house. So I've got, you want to do about like 8 cups water and 1 cup vinegar. You can cut that in half if you don't have that many berries. It's not a big deal. And so I'm just going to dump these all in here. So this will help your berries from, and I'm just going to mix these. I don't really care, so, and my kids like both, so I'm just going to mix them up. And then just kind of give that a little swirl, and we'll let that sit for just about a half an hour. So when I'm done with this, because you guys probably won't still be here, I am going to take this container here, and I'm just going to put some paper towel down on the bottom. I'm going to drain these in a colander and then just kind of pat them dry and store them in here with the lid propped open. And then I can just throw them into lunchboxes or onto the high chair for Easton as the days go. And so those will already be nice and ready. All right, and then the next thing that I do, I'm talking really quickly because I want to try to get a lot in for you guys and not have you be sitting here forever watching all of this prep. So the next thing, hold on. Just stir that fruit and spinach mixture a little bit. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do is just cut up a bunch of carrots and celery. So Asher likes those in his lunch. He also likes cucumber rounds. And instead of having to peel and cut up carrots every single morning, I just do it at the beginning of the week. I joked on my Costco video, if you've seen it on my YouTube, I joked that if you were feeding horses, you should get this, but carrots last forever in the fridge, and so I went ahead and just grabbed it. It's 10 pounds, it's huge. So I'm gonna cut up just like 3 of these guys, and then what I like to do is I save my old ghee containers, and I put sliced carrots standing up, and then I fill it with water. And so that helps keep them crisp. If you've ever cut up carrots and left them in your fridge, they kind of start to get a little bit bendy. I think they are like, what's his name? If you grew up in the 80s, the green guy that moves. I'm like, what's his name? Maybe somebody will say his name and it'll ring a bell with me, but they do start to kind of get a little bit bendy. So one thing that I don't often do is peel carrots. I just wash them really well usually, but I'm going to peel them today just since I have time. But I just wash them really well, and Asher doesn't mind the peels. I think as long as they're not like crazy dirty, then it's fine, but it's really up to you. So let's see, what else? I'm trying to think. So Lunchboxes, Asher's not a huge sandwich fan, although he did recently ask for some gluten-free bread and a sandwich, so we'll try it. We've tried them in the past, and he hasn't really liked it, so it kind of makes it easier on me, honestly. But he is gluten-free. He's grain-free just by nature when he's at home, because that's pretty much all I make. Sometimes I'll serve the boys white rice if they want it, and I'll eat, cauliflower rice, quote unquote. But so I try to come up with different things for him. So if you follow me on Instagram, you can follow the AAG Lunches hashtag, and I post some of the things. I am not like the most creative lunch maker in the world. There's a lot of moms on Instagram who really beat me with like the bento boxes and the designs and things like that, but I just stick to what I know he likes, and we try some new things here and there. But honestly, the biggest thing we do are leftovers. I throw leftovers into his lunch, especially like roasted chicken, which I'll talk about here in a minute, and then he just likes lunch meat, just like rolled up. Or this morning, if you saw, I did cucumber rounds, and I cut rounds of roasted turkey. So when you're buying lunch meat, obviously you need to be careful of the ingredients. But I like to get Applegate Organic, some of them, as long as they don't have carrageenan in it, that's good. If you go to your deli and actually get fresh sliced deli meat, a lot of times the ingredients are better, and they don't have like a starch in it, and they don't have a preservative, so you want to look for that. If you have Diesel turkey accessible to you, they are kind of a Bay Area sort of company, so I'm not sure that they're everywhere, but they are in like our Whole Foods. That is the cleanest turkey I've ever found. They don't do any fillers, they don't do gluten, they actually are very low in sodium. It's really delicious turkey, so that's what I get a lot of times. And then I'm going to show you one other one that I found at Costco that I sometimes buy as well. And so, yeah, so just make sure no nitrates, that's the other thing. So there's kind of a lot to look for. But, once you learn how to read the ingredients, then you'll be able to whiz through the grocery store and kind of find your favorite brand. So first of all, guys, I'm sorry that I'm not able to answer as many questions. I literally cannot read from where I am. So I'll go back through and try to answer some of your questions after, and then I'll also type out some answers later too, because it's too hard without somebody here reading me your questions. So thanks for just hanging out and listening, and you can still type your questions, and I will try to get to some of them at the end. And so let's see, what else was I talking about? Oh, lunch meat. We also like things that dip, so dips and dippers. So with, the chicken, sometimes I'll throw in ketchup, sometimes I'll throw in my dairy-free ranch dressing, which you can find in Meals Made Simple. Asher likes hummus. Chickpeas are not paleo, but if you're gluten-free, an organic hummus, you can make it yourself or you can buy it. We like the Trader Joe's organic one. It's affordable, and Asher likes the flavor the most, so that's another good choice. With some veggies, he does eat rice crackers, and that's usually what he likes to dip them in. And then what else do we serve? Oh, pesto with chicken. So I've got a few ideas on there, and I'm going to try to give you guys more, but he also really likes my grain-free chicken nuggets. And so what I do with those, and I forgot to bring it out here, but he has a thermos, and I like to fill it with boiling water in the morning, and then I heat up his chicken nuggets, and I put them in, or I dump out the water and dry it out, and then I put the chicken nuggets in there, and they stay not piping hot, but they stay warm until lunchtime. So he likes that. He also really likes meatballs. He's kind of tricky in terms of like sauces and things like that. Like he hasn't gotten to the point where he's willing to eat his lunch with a fork at school. So hopefully we'll get there at some point, because then I can actually send him with like spaghetti and meatballs. But right now I just send the meatballs, and sometimes I'll put the sauce in a little dipping container. Okay, so there's my carrots. I just cut up a few, and I'm gonna fill this with filtered water in a little bit. So that just goes in the fridge. That will keep for 5 to 7 days. So we can just throw a few of those in lunch as a quick little snack, and that's super helpful to have that out of the way. So let's see. Next up, I'm not gonna make you watch me cut celery, but it's the same thing. Let me just check on this. Okay, so all you're really looking for is for the fruit to kind of burst in this, and to kind of get some liquid in the bottom. So that's done. So I'm going to puree that now. And then I have my dehydrator behind me. Typically I keep that in the closet because it's so big, and I actually have a plug in there, and I just leave it in there. But I brought it out to show you guys today. So you can also use your oven. And then also, if you don't have a blender, you could definitely use an immersion blender for this. So just be careful because it's hot and it splatters, and with the berries it stains. Another version of this that Asher really likes is mango. So sometimes I'll do mango banana. If you have my recipe, by the way, you're going to notice that I'm leaving out the applesauce. It's just easier. This is going to get loud, so hold on. And while this is blending, I'm going to run off screen and grab my dehydrator trace. So I'll be right back. Blender is awesome because it'll get the job done really easy, but any blender should be fine because this is smooth enough and liquidy enough that you shouldn't need it. So really any blender is good. You just want to make sure that everything's blended really well so that the seeds aren't crunchy. And then, so if you have a dehydrator, you're going to have these dehydrator sheets. And I like to use, except for I can only find one right now, of course, but these silicone tray liners for these, and then I actually put parchment on top of that, and that's just because when they're done I can just cut strips and roll them up and tie them with a little string or a little tape, and then that's it, and I keep them in a Ziploc. So I've had a couple people say that they have trouble with these, and so I'll troubleshoot for you guys just a little bit. The biggest thing that you want to make sure you do is that you get a very nice and even layer when you're doing this, because if you don't, then some parts will be dehydrated and some parts might still be kind of mushy. So grab a spatula, and the consistency that you're looking for here, let me get like a flat one. Consistency that you're looking for is kind of like a smoothie, honestly. And actually, let me taste to make sure it's sweet enough because he won't eat them unless it's sweet enough. That's perfect. So you can't even taste the cucumber and the zucchini. The berries just totally overpower it, kind of like a green smoothie. And I put just a little bit of honey in to kind of further the sweetness. And you know, looking at this, I'm like, this is a little bit runny. But we're gonna go ahead and go for it. So it should be pourable, but it shouldn't be liquid, so liquid that it's gonna like spill right off. And I just like to go all the way out to the edges. Usually I get like 2 trays out of this. And you just wanna make sure that there's no gaps. Let me put that there so you guys can see that. You wanna make sure that there's no parts where you can just like see the parchment right underneath it, because those parts will end up getting really crispy. They'll like get over dry. And then again, like I said, like make sure the edges are kind of the same thickness as the middle, and then you should have success with this. One thing I can tell you is that if it comes out of the dehydrator a little bit too crispy, a little bit too dry, which often happens to us because I'll set it and I'll forget about it, you can just take a pastry brush or a paintbrush and you can dip it in water and you can just run some water over the parts that are too crispy and it'll just rehydrate it. And so then you'll end up with perfectly kind of soft fruit leather. And then, you know, also too, when it sits in a Ziploc, it also tends to get a little bit more moist. So, all right, that one is good. I'll just add a little bit more here. Honestly, the thickness is really up to you, how thick you guys want them. It doesn't really matter. It just could take a little bit longer to dry. So if you're doing this in an oven, because I guarantee you there's some comments and questions about that, but I can't read them, you just want to get it to your lowest setting. So preferably like around 200 degrees if your oven goes that low. If it's 250, that's fine. It just may not take as long. And then I like to, if you have a convection setting, that's really great because the air circulating through the oven really helps to kind of make these even. And they dehydrate well. And so, sorry, because I have like a little bit of perfectionism in me, I don't want that edge being so jagged. Honestly, if you can try to get it into like a good square, that'll just help you for cutting them and rolling them up. So do your best. But this is a fun thing to have kids help with too. So, you know, they don't have to be perfect. Okay, and then I'm just going to stick this in my dehydrator. That's this huge stainless steel box behind me. And I will add some links. Sorry, my parchment's just a little bit too long. Oh, and my belt just dipped into the fruit mixture. So I'll add some links to some of this stuff. This dehydrator is like the, I don't know, is Rolls Royce still a nice car? I guess it is. It's like the Rolls Royce of dehydrators. You don't need this one. I love it because it's a box shape, and so I can just do so much in there. I can do like 5 rows of beef jerky. I can do, you know, triple this amount of fruit strips. I can dry extra fruit we have from our, you know, garden or from farmer's market. But there's a cheaper one. The Excalibur is a good one. So you can get that one as well. And then, you know, if you want, you can totally get one of those round ones. The other reason, sorry, it's loud. The other reason why I really like this one is just because it's all stainless. Every other one that I've ever found has some sort of plastic in it, and we try to avoid heating plastic. So that's kind of my favorite for those reasons. But, you know, whatever you can find. And here's another tip. If you have a friend that would maybe use this, go in on it with them, because there was a time where we were living away from here, and I had a friend that had one, and we just shared it because you don't use it all that often, and so it's, hey bud, it's a good thing to share with someone, and you could, like, as long as you live close by, because they are a little cumbersome, but you could share it with somebody and just rotate, or you could offer and say, hey, I'm making fruit strips today, like, I'll make you a batch, and, you know, when I give you the dehydrator back, make me a batch of beef jerky or something. So you could totally, you come to help? Great.
Mom, I have a question.
Yeah.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah, you can tell me something, but everybody's going to hear it if you tell me. Everybody. It's not going to be quiet. Are you sure you want to do it? Yes. Okay. Great. Well, we're almost done, and then I'll go in, okay? Okay.
What are we making?
I'm making you fruit strips.
Kind of.
Yeah, well, this one's kind of done, but you can help me. You know, the last thing I was going to do, which you probably don't want to do because I know you kind of think it's icky, is take chicken off the bone. All right, so that's done. I don't remember what I was saying. Asher's here. To help. Wandering and eating dried mango, right? Oh, I think I might have just put fruit in your hair. That's okay. It'll make it stand up. I forget what I was saying, but about dehydrators. So that's a good option. So all right, I'm going to pop these in, and I'm going to set my timer. I'm just going to take these extra trays out because I don't need them. And these will be ready for school tomorrow, bud.
No,
Again.
we're going to have another tray for me to help you.
You're going to what?
I'm going to help you make up.
Help me make this? Well, it's already done. We can make another batch. Yeah, sure. Okay, so my dehydrator I am setting to about 135 degrees. Again, your oven probably won't go that low, and then I'm going to do about 4 hours, and I'll test it and see how dry it is, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so it's been kind of long enough, so I'm not going to show you guys kind of the rest of my prep. I have grapes here that I'm going to wash and cut into little pieces and put in the fridge, and then I bought a organic rotisserie chicken. Easton's been loving snacking on it lately, and then I like to have it for salads, and I also put it in Asher's lunch, like I mentioned. Do you want some grapes? And so I'm going to shred that all off the bone now, because I found that if I bring it home...
Don't forget I'm a first grader.
Don't forget he's a first grader, he would like to tell you. I find that if I don't shred it all off the bone right away, then it sits in the fridge and we forget about it. So I get it all off the bone, I put it in a container, I send some to school, I put some on salads for a quick lunch, some for Easton, and then I save the bones. Does he? Yeah. And then I save the bones and we make stock. So you can roast your own chicken, but this is like one of my favorite time saver things in the world. Yeah, buddy, it is. Okay, so that's that. Now, what everybody's kind of been waiting for is, I made a mess, by the way. The last thing is that I want to give, hey, Asher, you're yelling, okay, and people are trying to hear, okay? So if you want to stay in here, you need to be quiet, or you can come and talk with me. This is Asher's lunchbox. I have posted some pictures of it, and you guys asked. So we tried a bunch last year when he was in kindergarten, and I liked some of them. This one is definitely the most pricey, but to be honest with you, it's our favorite. It holds, sorry, just get a towel here. It holds the most food for us, and it's the most durable, and so we looked at it as kind of like an investment. He's going to use it hopefully straight through, at least through 8th grade, I would think. I don't know if he'll want to take it in high school, but so it made sense to us to get it. So first of all, everybody always asks, I usually pack it with an ice pack if there's cold things to keep it cold. And then, oh, this is actually going to be the moment of truth. What did he eat and what did he not eat? Oh, so he left his carrots. If you guys saw his lunch this morning, and then he left most of his cucumber, but he ate everything else. You always wonder when you get your kids' lunch home what they're going to eat and what they're not going to eat. So Planet Box is the company. I'm going to leave the link below, but they have graciously offered to give one away to you guys. And so the best thing that I'm going to be able to do is just scroll through when we're done here.
If you have kids, you could do it.
Only if you have kids? Hey, I think an adult would want to use this too, honestly. So you get to pick your color of your lunchbox, but they want you to give a couple choices. And then there's fun magnets on here. Yeah, babe. I'm going to let you pick the winner, okay? Does that sound good?
What?
I'm going to let you pick the winner.
Okay, Mom?
Yeah.
Can I tell you one thing?
Yes.
There's somebody else that has the same box that's in 3rd grade.
Somebody has the same box that's in 3rd grade?
I think it's 4th grade now.
Cool. All right, so I'm going to just randomly pick a winner because that's the easiest way to do it on here. So when this is over, I am immediately going to post a name at the top in the comments, so make sure you stay on here for just a couple seconds more, and you can have a chance to win this. And then also, they're having a big sale right now on their website, so if you don't win it and you really want to do it, and you want to make the investment, I love that it's all stainless steel. Again, there's no plastic. He can throw this thing around, like he chucks his backpack when he gets to school to go on the playground or whatever, and nothing has ever leaked out of it. And that was huge for us because the first couple we tried, they, things leaked into each other. There was watermelon juice on his chicken and he didn't want to eat it, or the ketchup spilled, or stuff like that. So you are not allowed to eat salt, dude. Stinker. Kids.
Mom is really weird.
Stop it. Hey, come over here with me if you want to be on here.
Agree with me too. Wait, somebody's doing
Hearts. Isn't that great?
What does that mean?
That means that they like you eating salt, probably, because you're being funny. So what I was going to say was it's all stainless steel. It doesn't leak. I am not being paid by them. I just actually really like this lunchbox, honestly. So thanks for joining me. I'm going to actually answer some questions really quick while we're doing this and scroll back up. And Asher, you can. You are so silly. All right, so I'm going to go back up to the top and answer just a couple questions really quick while you guys are still here. You are so silly. Sorry. It's so distracting. You're crazy. Okay, you guys, this is live TV, so, just what happens. You're crazy. Beef jerky recipe do I use for my kids? There's one on my blog.
I thought we're not doing it.
You're there. There's one on my blog. There's one in my book, in Against All Grain, and we use both of those. Okay. It's going to be a little hard, I think, to try to answer questions with this one here. So we're going to sign off. I'm going to pick a winner. I'm going to go through and answer your guys' questions via text on here. So check back, and I'll also leave some links. So thanks for joining me. Again, follow the hashtag AAG Lunches on Instagram, and I'll try to post as much inspiration as I can. We're going to try to get creative because we're getting a little
Get a lunchbox!
Yeah, we're getting a little bit bored of the stuff that we're doing, so I am going to try to get creative and share some new ideas with you guys. But the biggest thing I can tell you is
my mom's really genius.
You're just like looking at yourself. You're crazy. The biggest thing I can tell you is just think out of the box. It doesn't have to be sandwiches. You can use my grain-free wraps, and you can roll things up in them.
Yeah, because she's the best at it.
You're sweet. You can do tuna. You know, you
she's
can
really
do.
bad at it too.
Stop it. You can do almond butter and jam in those. You can make a loaf of my bread if your kids do like sandwiches. You could do leftovers. You could do breakfast. You could do waffles and bacon with like a side of maple syrup dipping sauce. So try to get creative and think out of the box. Don't try to live up to the Pinterest moms. That's my other advice.
Yeah, don't live up to my mom.
I'm trying to help people, stinker. But don't try to make everything like perfectly beautiful and like super creative. I mean, just find out what your kid likes. Also, I try to get him involved. Like if I'm gonna pack something new.
I never get involved.
Yes, you do.
No, I never.
If you
I'm not pirate and I never
now you're being distracting and people are gonna try to listen to me. So you need to be quieter. You need to go out. Okay. And so I try to get him involved too. I take him to the store with me. I let him pick out new veggies. We go into the garden. We pick new veggies. If I want to try something new, I have learned that I want him to try it the night before, because if I send him something new in his lunchbox, then there's a good chance that he may not try it, and then he's going to be hungry. So
I'm starving today.
No, we don't use that word, right?
I know.
Because there's actually people that are starving. Anyways, if I want to try something new, I try to get him into the kitchen with me and have him try to create something with me, and then we try something new. Okay, so we're going to sign off because this little guy's distracting, and he's obviously needing some attention after school. So thanks for being here with us.
Don't flip.
And again, I'm going to pick a winner. I am going to answer questions. Make sure you check out my tour. And we're going to be doing lots of giveaways. I can't read them because you're talking too much and it's way too far to scroll back. So we're going to get there. Thanks, guys. Sorry for the distraction at the end. I'll show you guys the fruit strips on my Instagram and hopefully on here at the end. And yes, it is totally like watching kids when they Skype their grandparents. Okay, so that's it. Thanks, guys, for joining me for Live with Danielle. On Facebook. You don't even know what Facebook is. What is it?
It's on camera.
It's on camera. So we will see you guys
I'm the
next
person
week.
you don't know who I am.
Bye, everybody.